Hey, everybody. It's May 24th, 2022. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast talking about NXT 2.0. And spoiler alert, if you've been following the news, yeah, we don't really want to be here tonight. I'm Glenn Rubenstien, joined by NYC Demon Diva Issa. I think we've all got a lot on our minds, the weight of the world, the weight of current events. But NXT did go ahead as planned tonight, and we are going to do our best to cover it. I know a lot of you looked at this podcast and professional wrestling as a distraction, and for those that are seeking one, we will do our best tonight to get through the show.
Very well said.
Yes, but our thoughts are definitely with everyone today affected by the latest tragedy.
Yep.
Okay, so let's dive into the world of professional wrestling.
Before we get into the news, we should obviously tell people that Alfred he's gone on a strike after he found out that Nikita Lyons is no longer in the NXT breakout. He refused to do the show. I don't know if we'll see him again, honestly.
So according to Brooks and Dunn, in a comment they made, it was a freak accident while training that caused this to happen. Nothing more is up because they said her name so much tonight that clearly that, you know, NXT is just rolling with the punches of this unforeseen incident. Or they said, we got to take her out of this tournament because we need someone else to win and we've got something else we can do with her. We just need, I mean, there's something, but I think like Nikita, her, you know, I'm not questioning her standing in NXT 2.0 at all based on this. I think something either legitimate or storyline dictated this, you know?
Agreed. I just hope that Alfred can move on from it.
Yes. Yes. So what's going on in the news? The wrestling news.
I don't have many news. The first one is that WWE RAW did see a slight audience drop. Obviously, they had NBA and hockey playoffs competition. But despite facing much tougher competition than the prior week, Raw only saw a small drop in their audience this past Monday, last night's episode. It averaged 1.7 million viewers, which is only down 0.2% from last week. Again, they had NBA and hockey playoffs, but also, in my opinion, that seems to be what they've been averaging for a while now. What do you think about that?
I mean, look, I really think with the Sasha and Naomi situation, I think there's going to be a portion of the audience that's legitimately going to boycott WWE going forward. Their fans are that hardcore enough.
Yeah, I do agree with you, but I think that boycott, I don't think it's going to reflect in the numbers until the news start kind of going away, right? Because I feel like people will still tune in to see, are they still going to say something? You know, what's going to happen? I feel like it's so recent that people will still tune in. And then after that is probably when we'll start seeing the drop from those fans that are, you know, choosing to boycott.
Yeah, I mean, it's still crazy. It's just such... It's not a storyline, but it is the biggest story still in all of professional wrestling.
Right. And obviously, I don't know if you watched last night's episode of Monday Night Raw. I did a watch along in my channel. In my opinion, it was very poorly paced episode of Raw. It was kind of tough to get through it.
Really?
Yeah. I think in the first hour and 20 minutes, we had only one wrestling match.
Well, last night was the last night for the next 6 weeks that they're going to have competition from Better Call Saul, and that's what I was watching instead of Monday Night Raw. The shocking cliffhanger of the mid-season finale, Better Call Saul.
Of course. Well, also in the news, AEW Rampage doesn't really have a start time this Friday. I don't know, I was about to tell you, you need to set a reminder, but I can't tell you what time to set the reminder for because it all depends on the playoff game that's on tomorrow. If St. Louis wins, hold on, let me read this because I'm not too familiar with with the hockey playoffs. But Rampage will either air at 6:30 p.m. Pacific if there's a Colorado versus St. Louis game. If the series is over, Rampage will go back to the normal time slot of 10 p.m. So, which to me is a weird week for this because Rampage is live this week, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna tape it at 3:30 p.m. Vegas time,
Oh, that's right.
your town. Yeah,
Yes.
no matter what. But we don't know what time they're going to be airing the show because of this. Now, this St. Louis game, it's not going to happen until tomorrow. So we really won't have a lot of answers as far as what time we're gonna be seeing Rampage until the game happens. If Colorado wins the series, Rampage will go back to 10 p.m. But if not, they're going to have another game on Friday. Therefore, it will be at a different time.
Why didn't they kayfabe this and say Orange Cassidy's in charge of programming this week? And Orange Cassidy, when is Rampage airing Friday? And he said, whenever.
Well, I absolutely love that idea. It's just, to me, it just seems so weird for this to be happening on a week that they're actually giving us a live program. You know what I mean?
And can I say something? My entire life, I've never been a big sports fan. And I think part of the reason why is I hate with a passion sports preemptions. It has been ruining my TV my entire life since my childhood. You want to tune in at the regular time and, oh no, there's a baseball game tonight. So we're going to show this episode of Silver Spoons at 1 a.m. because, we couldn't be bothered to show it in prime time because there's an A's game, or hey, SNL, you got Jennifer Lopez standing by waiting to host. Nope, the XFL's running over. Gotta,
never forget
that. Yeah,
never forget
sports
about
preemptions. Look, this is what ESPN is for. You just tell everyone, hey, folks, we got a schedule to stick to. Tune to NBC Sports, and we're gonna show different strokes and the facts of life in its normal time slot.
I'm a fan of sports, not necessarily hockey, but I do follow the NBA playoffs and baseball, obviously. And again, this week seems like such a big week for AEW that I thought they would have had some kind of backup plan or some kind of set time because you're going to have people in the arena. But I guess depending on the results of these games, they might just tape it and give it to us at whatever time is more convenient for the next war. But you would think this will be one of those occasions where they will move it to maybe TBS just to at least air it at the right time.
I can't believe it's Memorial Day weekend upon us already. When we were talking about Double or Nothing being in Vegas so long ago, it seemed like, it's going to be a different world by then. We'll be living in the future. You're not coming out here for this, right?
No, not for this one. No.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, I think, were just kind of like, people months ago were amped. They were like, it's going to be a great time to go.
I was excited for Double or Nothing, but the thing of it with the travel and there's so much content that you miss out on making and going live, obviously when you cover it, as I do on my YouTube channel, you kind of sacrifice doing that content to get out there. And I just don't feel the hype enough to go and watch it live. Am I excited for it? I am, but not like I was for All Out, where I couldn't wait to get out there and I couldn't wait to see the show. This one, I feel like I can sit back and kind of watch it from here and be safe and not go through. You know how it is to travel for a wrestling event. It's a lot of different time zones. It's just a mess. So you know what? I'm just gonna relax.
Yeah, and numbers being what they are, who knows if we're truly over everything. I got an invite. I won't say too much. I got an invite from someone in the entertainment industry, a creative person who writes and directs, who I respect the hell out of, who finished a project recently that I'm so looking forward to. I got a personal invite to drive to LA to go to their house and watch this. I was like, well, I'll be there in 4 hours. Can we do this in your backyard? And it was like, no, let's just wait and see if the numbers go down a bit more because, I want to make sure everything's safe. And this is something that I'm really anxious to see. And I'm saying, no, I can wait a while. It's just, who knows right now? It's like, this is all very fluid. I'm curious to see how Double or Nothing is going to actually do. I think a lot of people bought tickets and maybe changed their travel plans. I think the secondary market might be pretty hot. And I'll say this, if you are, yes, Sergio Cardenas is saying got another Double or Nothing 4 seats for $100. It was this way for the first Double or Nothing I was at. I'll just give this pro tip for Vegas, and this is more true now than ever. Even pre-pandemic, this was true. If you are in Vegas and you do not have concrete plans, you are flexible. Go on StubHub or these secondary ticket sites.
Oh yeah,
about an hour before doors. We got to see Elton John for like $20 for good seats because people unload these tickets for next to nothing the closer they get to showtime.
Are you giving people real tips, or are you trying to tell them how to get stolen tickets like you did for the Michael Jackson show?
Time we accidentally bought stolen tickets off Craigslist. One time. And they weren't stolen tickets. They were bought with a stolen credit card. But StubHub is legit and everything's backed by that guarantee. So,
Oh,
and they're
I
electronic.
remember checking it out I was out there for SummerSlam weekend, which was still pandemic. You know, the mask mandate was still a thing, and I remember StubHub had some cheap SummerSlam tickets as I was like literally walking to the venue. So no, you're absolutely on point. That's still the case.
We saw Gwen Stefani in like the second row for I think like $50 a ticket using StubHub at the last minute. It's really insane. If you just are willing to be a little flexible, there are deals to be had. And that's a great thing in Vegas. Everything is so close to each other. You could just hang out, at the casino at the food
literally
court.
walk. Yeah.
Just walk to the show. So although the MGM, are they doing it at or Mandalay Bay again for not
no,
Double
this
or
one
Nothing?
is at T-Mobile Arena.
Yeah, so that's not bad. You could be in that vicinity. But I was gonna say Mandalay
you can even
Bay.
hang out at the park MGM. They have that night Italy, that you can sit down and eat, have a couple of, have some Italian experience. I love that place. But yeah, I mean, it's surrounded by all those areas. You can just be hanging out in the area. It's actually closer to everything than Allegiant Stadium is.
First Double or Nothing was MGM, and that place is a maze.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my
literally.
God, so bad.
But yeah, I ended up like on the ramp at that. Actually, just I think I had like comp seats because we were sponsoring something. Conrad hooked me up with comps. And I was like, oh, these are just okay. So I went online to try and find somebody that had better seats, and I think I paid to do like $100 for like a ramp side seat. It was pretty good. But anyhow, what else do we got news wise?
That's all I have.
Okay, there you go. So the big story though in the world of professional wrestling tonight, Nikki Lyons out of the women's breakout tournament on NXT, freak injury. I guess she posted something on Instagram, her boot on. So there you go.
Yep, she's out of the tournament.
I mean, it is what it is. The open Inofe and Malik Blade versus Two Dimes and Stacks with Tony D'Angelo, and Two Dimes and Stacks got the win.
Yeah, I like seeing Tony's goons out there in action. Who were they facing again?
Weren't they facing Idris and Malik?
Is this their first time?
Idris and Malik, that's a good question. Well, I think Two Dimes and Stacks, was this their first time? I think it was their first time.
No, I'm talking we watch every Tuesday, and I really can't remember ever seeing these two guys that Tony's goons were facing today. Also, I will forever call them Tony's goons no matter what. I mean, it was a fun match.
We saw Idris and Malik before. Remember they had the promo in the mirror? And they were getting each other hyped up, and the promo was the homage to that other thing that I'm forgetting right now.
They
were hitting on Mandy Rose.
I have forgotten it. Thanks for making me remember.
This is remember. And then Legado del Fantasma came out, and there's a 6-man brawl.
Yeah.
After the match, did you watch the latest episode of the?
No, go ahead.
No, you ask your question's more wrestling. Your question's more on topic than what it is.
No, I was just going to ask, why is Legado still doing this? Like, they won last week. You know what I mean? It seemed like Tony moved on. He's trying to get his goons on point, and then Santos is still not leaving him alone. I mean, if something bad happens to him,
offer he can't refuse. Speaking of which, did you watch the latest episode of The Offer on Paramount Plus, The Making of the Godfather?
No, not yet.
I'm surprised. I thought at first I was like, oh, the show's just okay, and now every week I'm really looking forward to that.
I started watching Girl from Plainville on Hulu and got so obsessed with it that I had to like binge it. So I haven't paid attention to anything else.
Wow. I watched the best movie I've seen this year the other night, and it's streaming for free on AMC Plus, or you can rent it digitally. It's a movie called Duel, spelled Dual, and it stars Karen Gillan from Doctor Who, Guardians of the Galaxy. She played Nebula. And Aaron Paul, formerly of Breaking Bad. And Karen Gillan plays two roles. She's a woman with a terminal illness who clones herself to essentially the clone will take over her life after she passes. But then, and this is in the description, this is the setup, the illness goes into remission. And then the mandate says she has to have a fight to the death with her clone.
I love that.
which she trains for. And this sounds like this kind of dark, twisted, fucked up sci-fi movie. It's a dark comedy by the same guy that did The Art of Self-Defense. I laughed harder in this film than I have in anything in a long time. It's like a great Black Mirror episode, but Karen Gillan as both roles. This is the best movie I've seen this year. If you're looking for something to watch, highly recommend it. Pay the $3 to rent it because no one has AMC Plus except for me. But Dual, Dual, now streaming, just came out.
I love how you're always watching comedy, and I'm over here suggesting just true crime, like real dark, based on a true story.
I fucking watched Room last night. Finally, Room was on when I was flipping, and then my wife was like, "I'm not watching this." I'm like, "Okay, I'm finally gonna watch it." And yes, dark, depressing thriller. Spoiler alert. I mean, it's in the description. They get out of the room, but I swear to God, when the kid saw an actual dog for the first time, I just started bawling my eyes out, just like tears of joy. And sorry, spoiler for an 8-year-old movie at this point. I watched some kind of real heavy stuff as well. But no, most of the time, my wife actually likes more the escapist fare. She never wants to watch something that's too real or too depressing or too twisted. But we watched Duel the other night, though, and Duel as a dark comedy was absolutely phenomenal.
Well, if anybody wants to go down the true crime hole with me and watch Girl from Plainville, I would suggest you watch the documentary about the real case. It's called I Love You Now Die, and it is on HBO Max. And then go watch Girl from Plainville. It's really good.
The true crime hole.
Oh, I love true crime. Anything. Yeah. Sadly.
Yeah. I get it. But yeah, definitely can be a bit heavy sometimes.
It is.
So it's 2 Dimes and Stacks.
Tony's Goons.
Wesley was interviewed backstage. Wesley took on Senga. Oh, Senga won that pretty easily.
Yeah, of course he did. That freaking promo from Wesley backstage, like, Mackenzie, I know you're my friend, but you don't understand. You wouldn't understand. I have to do this for me. And I was like, no, you don't. Like, you're gonna lose. You do not have to do this. Like, it was kind of like predictable that he was gonna lose against Senga.
Yeah.
But he did get a show of respect. You know, the match was good. I thought he held his own against him, considering the size difference. And I like seeing the show of respect. And then oh my God, I forgot his name. I just blanked out. He came out at the end. Cyan Quinn. Yeah, he came out at the end.
Braun Breaker had a photo of his family when he was a child.
My God.
Like, okay, chat room. Does anybody give a shit about this Braun Breaker Joe Gacy thing?
Butch. I will tell you.
What's that?
No, I was going to say the only time I even care or giggle was when freaking Duke Hudson says, I don't care if you have daddy issues. Oh my God, I laughed so hard.
Joe Gacy looks like a cartoon character version of a child come to life as an adult. Like his psychotic look, he's got that one, he knows how to make his eyes really wide and just look nuts, but I don't care about the storyline. I don't know what he's trying to say. And this is actually what's a variation on that King of the Hill line, which is you're not making Joe Gacy better, you're making Braun Breaker worse by association with this.
This is a horrible feud for Braun Breaker to go into after defeating Dolph Ziggler, and I thought it was gonna be a one and done. But you know, like as soon as they showed that this was gonna keep going, I just don't think this is doing anything for Braun Breaker. I do not care. I don't care, and they need to get out of this fast.
Heather Abood saying that she's drinking a grape Olipop right now after my recommendation the other night, saying, oh my God, it's so good. I, the other day, had my Instacart shopper. I need to find this. There's now a fruit punch Olipop. And I got like every flavor they had, but I love the grape. So I got like 6 cans of the grape. And I have to find the fruit punch. I have to find fruit punch Olipop in stock somewhere. But for 4 grams of sugar, 40 carbs, and a prebiotic, like this is the only soda I'm drinking now as part of my healthy lifestyle makeover, which now down 17 pounds since the start. So
Good job, Glenn.
yeah,
I'm proud
working
of
there.
you.
And had a light cheat meal of Del Taco tonight because sometimes you got to convince your body you're not starving. So I did have just
Right.
one Del Taco burrito tonight to hopefully keep the weight loss going. Then it's all back to
Are
the
you
kale.
still doing the treadmill every day and everything?
I've done the treadmill every day almost for 100 days. No.
I'm so proud of you. Keep it up.
Yeah, and just doing a walk, But yeah, it's been it's good. Dream Realm Studios want to know where I get those almost lemonades. So this is Lemon Perfect. I'm just doing plugs for everything I like now. We have no sponsors at the moment. So Lemon Perfect. I believe this was started by a basketball player, some athlete who just figured out like lemon water is the key to better hydration. Ordered these off Amazon, and I learned if you get the variety pack, they're cheaper. They're like 50 cents a bottle cheaper, like $1 and change a bottle if you get them the variety pack off Amazon. But it's great. Chris Alger saying, where do you get this good stuff? Olipop is available in stores nationwide. You can also order on Amazon or online. But this
You need
is
to
the
just
thing.
start your own YouTube channel with your
I know.
own little life hacks and like movie suggestions and
Oh
food.
no!
Like,
Every
you should
video will be
start-
like, so everyone's been asking me lately about this lemonade that I drink. And guys, this is the best lemonade. Seriously, you've
Yeah,
got to
you
try
have-
it for yourself. But make sure you use my special promo code. Yes.
Glenergy, please make your promo code Glenergy. I will
Jeremy's
use your
asking-
promo code if you make it that.
Glenergy, there you go. Jeremy's asking where I find Kangol. Kangol is still in business. Kangol has a website. They've got I just ordered another Kangol, one of these tomorrow, but in gray, that's showing up. And I got the Fragora. The Fragora, though, really threw some people the one time I wore it on the show. So I don't think that'll be making a reemergence.
I loved it. I thought your drip was so on point that
The
night.
Fragora? Maybe when I
Yeah.
see you at Money in the Bank, I'll gift you the Fragora. I'll pass the legacy on. It looked so good on Ice-T back in the late 1980s, but I just don't think I can pull it off as well.
I thought your drip was on point that night.
I try.
This is us avoiding talking about anything but NXT. It really wasn't my favorite episode, to be honest. And outside of the fact that our minds are elsewhere with everything going on,
I know
it really wasn't that entertaining of an episode.
Yeah, I mean, man, if there was a night that I needed John Cena to come out and just tell me everything's going to be okay.
Glenn, what if you did?
What if he did? Oh, Heather's saying Olipop's at Walmart now too. That is good to know. Is good stuff. So, Alba Fire. Love Alba Fire's entrance. She beat Elektra Lopez. Why is Elektra Lopez like the booking just makes no sense sometimes?
You're putting people against each other that can't afford to take a loss, and that makes no sense. I think Elektra Lopez is doing such a good job with Legado del Fantasma, and she needs to rank up a couple of wins because she also looks the part. Presentation on Alba Fire is absolutely incredible. I think I mentioned it a week or two ago when we were here. I love the entrance from the beginning, which makes me not hate the new name. I wish they put more effort when they're going to change the name of these characters and make the presentation go with it. So you kind of like forget that you did that. But I wish they would have booked these two women against somebody else so they both could have scored a win tonight. And it looks like we're going to have a feud between Elektra Lopez and Cora Jade. I'm not sure that Cora Jade wants that smoke. I don't know if Cora Jade wants that smoke. I'm just saying.
I liked her smacking the popcorn out of Cora Jade's hands.
Me too.
That's good. Damon Kemp was on the phone, and the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile walked in, and Kemp said Roderick Strong hurt his ankle in his tag match. Hurt his ankle. Tag match with Strong against Pretty Deadly won't happen tonight. Man, everyone's just getting hurt at NXT.
Yeah, and according to the Creed brothers, they said it doesn't matter if you're hurt. You tape it up and you go out there and perform. That is the worst advice ever. That's how you end your career very young. Take care of your injuries so don't get worse, buddy.
Yeah, like they're like a Pop Warner football coach. Just rub some dirt on it, get back on the field, you'll be fine. You know.
Yeah, that's not how it works. But it's very curious if Roderick Strong is legitimately injured or if this is a storyline. Obviously, we do know that he might not be very happy with NXT and his position creatively. So it just made me wonder if this is how we're gonna kind of like keep him away slowly from Diamond Mine.
Tornado Anthony Y wants to know when the reunion with me, Matt Morgan, and Raj is happening. It is happening probably in June. I think it's just a scheduling issue, so we'll
The
figure
tornado.
that out. The tornado is asking. So yeah, Nikita Lyon's injured. Still can't get over that. But the Creed is going to face Pretty Deadly at NXT in Your House. Then so we had Last Legend versus Roxanne Perez tonight, and Last Legend taking that L.
Yeah, but it was in a little bit of a roll-up fashion. I didn't think that Lash Legend looked bad in defeat during this match, right? You know what I mean? Like I personally, I've been here advocating for Lash Legend to get more wins. And we did see her advance in the tournament, but I kind of had a feeling that it was going to be Roxy, especially after they announced that Nikita was out, because I was thinking maybe they'll try to get back to Nikita and Lash Legend as the finals. I have no problem with Roxy getting the win here, and it's fun. I always think it's a fun visual to see like the underdog character get a win over somebody that size wise was so much bigger than her. Yeah, so it was fun to see Roxy fight from that perspective, and I still thought that Lash Legend looked pretty dominant.
Yeah, I think she always looks great. But Roxanne Perez, I don't know, my money might be on her now to win this tournament.
Oh my God, I keep calling her Roxy. Am I supposed to stop doing that and call her Roxanne Perez, the gamer?
But it's going to be her versus, well, we'll talk about who she's going to face later in the show. Yeah. But NXT champion Mandy Rose was backstage with the women's tag team champions, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane of Toxic Attraction. This was in advance tonight of Mandy versus Indy. And Kaden Gardner and Katana Chance, who looks, strangely like someone else. Still not used to that name change. Came out of nowhere, attacked Dolan and Jane. So setting up
literally from out of nowhere.
Literally. But Mandy Rose versus Indy Hartwell. Now, this was not the most competitive match ever. I think it seemed pretty predetermined that Mandy Rose was going to win. What do you do with Indy now, given that she has lost her friend, her man, her title opportunity?
Find another lone wolf out there in the world of NXT. I mean, there might be some company higher up looking for some female tag teams right now.
Oh, yes, true. True. I did read someone confirmed online what we talked about the other night that the women's tag tournament for the vacated titles is going to heavily feature NXT women's tag teams.
They have to. You have two tag teams, technically speaking, if we keep Natalya and Shayna Baszler together right now. So I did like the match itself. I think that Mandy has been very impressive. One of the best call downs. I know we talk about call ups, but Mandy Rose in NXT is just a whole different beast than what we were used to.
Joseph Boza saying it was a great match. Mandy did the most work as champ during her 7-month reign here. Of course, she won. I don't know if it was her best match she's had, but
no, but she did the most work as carrying the match, which I would agree with Joseph, because a lot of times it was either an equal or Mandy might have to be carried a little bit, or there have been occasions in which she doesn't have a lot of chemistry with the person that she's going against. Her matches with Raquel, I felt like Raquel did more work, right? Here tonight, Mandy was in charge of this match.
And Indy has done so much character work. I actually don't really have a fully formed opinion about Indy's in-ring work, because I think of her. I mean, she's had so many storylines. It's just unfortunate that everyone she was in a storyline with is now gone.
Literally gone. So what do you do with her now? I feel sad, because it's like you really left her in a situation, like it's almost like a lose-lose situation, which is why I'm saying maybe she can find somebody else that's alone out there and form a tag team. That might be the best hope for her.
You know how she gets back at Mandy? She starts dating Otis and bringing Otis around NXT. Remind Mandy of what
Why
she
did I
lost.
know? Why did I know you were gonna bring Otis into this? I just knew it.
And then the story comes out that like Otis dumped Mandy because we never got resolution on that.
I mean, maybe.
I'm just saying, could it be worse than some of the things we've seen? Probably not.
Oh, not at all.
We had footage of Braun Breaker playing football as a child. And
Okay.
his father didn't make his football game. So this
Can
isn't
I can
Adam
I
Carolla here, you know?
can I say something bad?
Yeah.
So when this was happening and Braun Breaker was like, I was waiting for my father to show up at this game, but he was in Japan wrestling. I was waiting for Lacey Evans to come in and be like, at least he was working and making money. My father. My father didn't care about our family.
Lacey Evans is gonna when you're at Access or you're doing a media day and you see Lacey Evans, I want you to interview Lacey Evans, and I'm just gonna be waiting for her to just smack you in the face.
I'll smack her right back. We can go.
I'll be like, I heard what you said about me.
I have hard times growing up too. I've shared them in this podcast. So
I want you to say that in an interview to Lacey Evans. Tell the story.
Did that not cross your mind when he was talking about his daddy issues? Lacey Evans just coming and be like, my daddy issues are worse than yours.
I think the one upper, like there's something there. But Pretty Deadly cut a quick promo on Creed.
First of all, we're not gonna skip over this. Yes, boy. I love Pretty Deadly. But what I really want to know here is who wore it best, Pretty Deadly or Becky Lynch last night? They were both sporting the poofy white shirt.
My wife objects to Pretty Deadly because she's like, this is bullshit. This is just like the Fashion Police meets Bridgerton. Like,
No.
you know, bring back Breeze and Dango.
No, I love Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy.
I like Pretty Deadly, but I do miss the Fashion Police.
I mean, we will forever miss the Fashion Police.
Hey, male models. I can't remember his new name. Something Dupree.
Oh,
Dupree?
it's like yeah,
so
Max
memorable.
Dupree Max. I don't know.
Yeah, Maximum Male Models. Max Dupree.
Oh, you think he'll call up Pretty Deadly?
Actually, yeah, I could see but we've got 2 weeks. No. Yeah. It's a week from Saturday in your house.
Yeah, for in your house. I think it's the Saturday before Hell in a Cell.
Okay. If Max Dupree this Friday, is teasing his Maximum Male Models, but we don't meet them, maybe it'll be Pretty Deadly.
I think Pretty Deadly will be an excellent choice, but I really just want him to go in a direction of somebody that's just the least from a model, like Otis, you know? That would make the gimmick so much more interesting.
Tiffany Stratton, the Cinderella story, taking Nikita Lyons' place tonight against Fallon Henry in the breakout tournaments. It's kind of a hard-fought victory tonight, but Tiffany Stratton's going to the finals.
Yeah, she is. I thought she looked great tonight. I was laughing at commentary because I think Wade said something like, she was supposed to be hanging out in catering all day. She's lucky she brought her gear with her. I was like, yo, like, sure, some respect. Come on. I actually enjoyed this match. I think every time I see Tiffany Stratton wrestle, I'm liking her in ring more and more. And she's been it as a character since they debuted her in the video packages. So character-wise, she's been on point. It's good to see that the in-ring is starting to match that.
And I like Grayson Waller celebrating with her like he won tonight.
I know.
That was fun.
It was fun. But I like the pairing on those two. It just makes sense.
The other day I was flipping channels on our bootleg cable, and we watched like Beverly Hills Cop 3 because I really just wanted to show my wife how terrible it was. And then I was flipping channels and the Skulls was on, and I was like, ooh, that would be a good gimmick with Tiffany Stratton and her money, like a secret society has fixed it. Tiffany Stratton is going to win this.
Skulls
really?
Is such a good movie.
Yeah. Have you seen the direct-to-video sequel, Skulls 2 and Skulls 3?
I haven't. Are they good?
Oh, I saw part 2. Part 2 was okay. Kind of the same thing as the first. I think 3 is a little different, but it's like the Cruel Intentions direct-to-video sequels. They're like just
Right.
kind of like tangentially related, or like the
I
Wild
can't.
Things.
I refuse to watch any Cruel Intentions sequels because I love that movie so much that I cannot have it tainted. See, that's the thing with me. When I really like something like this new spin-off, which I've heard horrible reviews, but one of my favorite shows of all time is Sex and the City. And this
Oh yeah.
weird spin-off that doesn't even have the entire cast, like I refuse to watch it because I don't want it to taint the image of my favorite show. So I'm that way with Cruel Intentions. Like a lot of my friends are like, have you seen the sequels? And I'm like, I refuse.
Okay.
Also, the Cruel Intentions soundtrack, one of my favorites of all time.
Okay, but here's the question. This leaked for a hot minute. I don't know where you can find it. I might have it and be able to send it to you. Did you see the pilot for the Cruel Intentions TV show like 4 years ago that brought back Sarah Michelle Gellar? And it was about Sebastian had a son who went to live with his mom, and Sarah Michelle Gellar, like brings him back into the world of the family.
No, you must send me this.
Okay,
You
I have to find it.
send
I
me this.
saved it. It was pretty
Did you
good.
not see my tweet? I think it was like 2-3 months ago at like 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I just randomly tweeted I never got over Sebastian dying in Cruel Intentions, and it got so much engagement. I was like, I'm glad I'm not the only one who still to this day randomly thinks about this.
It was like Cruel Intentions is freaking great. Of all that genre movies, look, you can have your I Know What You Did Last Summers. You can have The Faculty. You can have your Varsity Blues and She's All That. But Cruel Intentions, for my money, is like
Ugh,
top 3 of
so
that
good.
era of teen films. Probably up there with 10 Things I Hate About You.
Ah,
Can't
10
think of
things
what's the
I hate
third.
about you.
Can't think
Another one
what's
of
the
my
third one be.
favorites.
Yeah, that one's also really good. But no, Cruel Intentions is dope. Love
Yeah,
me
Cruel
some Cruel
Intentions is
Intentions.
good.
But yeah, the unaired pilot was crazy. Tracked that down a couple of years ago, and
Oh my God, if you can find it, please send
I'll
it to
find
me. I
it.
would love to see it.
Yeah. So Von Wagner. Katanchi and Kaden Carter going to take on Toxic Attraction. But let's talk about Von Wagner versus Ikemanjiro. And Von Wagner's, oh man, that's why he don't wear a jacket. Just got pulled over his head. It's like he got a wedgie with a jacket tonight.
Yeah, I love the intensity of Ikeman when he came out just running and started attacking Von Wagner, but I kind of knew like, where do you go from getting yeeted onto the crowd like that? You know you're gonna lose this match, right? Like, so I think maybe it's not even him in the jacket. I think I just can't get invested into anything that Von Wagner does. I'd rather see him just come out and attack people. I think that was more interesting than seeing him in the ring.
We didn't talk about Wendy Chu's balls.
She botched it. She had a ball butch. I'm sorry. I love Wendy Chu. I love the character. I personally can't take her seriously. When she held up the title, I was like, I can't see this happening.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Do you like Wendy Chu? You think Wendy Chu could beat Mandy?
I think
Rose?
Wendy Chu actually could end up. Yes, I absolutely. I do think Wendy Chu could end up winning the thing. Chris Aldridge saying assassination from Taquito Hines, Tiffany Stratton. They're both blind. But the third Skulls movie has a main character as a female. Here's what I love. I like that Mike Martin in the chat is like, bro, there's got to be more structure. The show talks some NXT and movie stuff later, bro. I just inserted another bro in there. He said one bro, but in my mind, Mike Martin, every other word is bro. But here's the other thing I like. I like that our chat room right now is talking about Sex in the City and Can't Hardly Wait, which, yes, Can't Hardly Wait is definitely
Can't Hardly Wait is so good.
With the late 90s movies. I love that they're talking about that and Cruel Intentions. Look, here's the deal, and I'm just going to say this for anyone tonight because off topic, when are we ever on topic? No, I know we're always a little all over the place, but look, tonight, I think there's a lot of people that just want to be doing anything other than focusing on the sad reality that we live in. Mm-hmm. So tonight we are 1,000% even more disorganized than usual.
Yeah, it's a little it's hard. We're all over the place, and that's okay. Did I ever tell you that my first job was at a Sam Goody because of Empire Records? Like I love the movie Empire Records so much that I decided I had to work at a music store as my first job. So yeah, my first job was at a Sam Goody. I mean, it's no Empire Records, but it was as close as I could get.
I had a friend that took the graveyard shift at 7-Eleven after seeing the movie Clerks. He was like, I think I'm going to do this for a job. And I would just go hang out
I'm glad that I watched Empire Records instead of At least I had the cool job in high school. Everybody wanted my CD discount.
Oh yeah, seriously, right? I used to get
Yeah.
I had a friend that worked at the warehouse, and I would just get the posters, the promo posters that they didn't want. So I
Yeah.
just had like the most random promo posters for
Oh, that was the
bands I like.
best, especially when I was in my boy band stage because you had like, you know how they get exclusive posters. These
Oh
are not
yeah.
the ones from like Teen Beat magazine. I had actual real posters on my wall that none of my girlfriends had.
Wow, the Tornado Anthony Y calling Butch Scrappy Doo.
But
Ah, man.
anyways, I know we'll get back to the balls. She botched the ball spot. The balls were not coming out of the sack. Oh, this whole thing sounds horrible out of context. But she lifted the title, and I just don't believe Wendy Chu to be a credible contender. Neither does my dog.
Two Dimes and Stacks were backstage with Tony D'Angelo. See, this all sounds like I'm like an episode of Dragnet or like the Untouchables TV series. Two Dimes and Stacks were backstage with Tony D'Angelo, challenging Legado del Fantasma to a 6-man tag match in your house. But he's going to invite him to a sit-down meeting to work out the deal, make him an offer he can't refuse.
Mafia wars continue.
Pulling off Tony D'Angelo, man.
I know. I thought he'll be contending for the NXT title by now.
Thought he'd be competing against Roman, defeating Roman for the unified championship.
Let's not get carried away.
So, Joe Gacy's playing mind games on Braun Breaker, and in your house, he's finally going to break the NXT champion for good. Okay, if Joe Gacy wins the NXT championship from Braun Breaker, I was going to make some declarative statement, Issa, but now that I'm thinking about it, that would be such I'm going to just combine this. That would be clusterfuck in a shit show in a dumpster fire if Joe Gacy is the NXT champion, that I kind of want to see it. I'm kind of morbidly curious, like thinking about what a Sarah Palin presidency would look like. I would like to see Joe Gacy as NXT
Don't you
champion.
put that evil on me, Glenn Rubenstien. Don't you put that evil on me. Do not manifest it. Do not say it out loud, please, because they'll do it.
Braun could go to the main roster, and Joe will just be... Oh, imagine the promos Joe Gacy will cut as NXT champion. Imagine the mind games and the cutting-edge parody we will see if Joe Gacy is NXT champion.
Stop it. Get some help. It's not gonna happen.
It's probably, the darkest timeline. It's such a terrible idea. I'm just morbidly curious to see what it looks like.
Glenn, stop. I feel like you're being serious now.
Tornado says Braun's dad is going to join Gacy in the dark side.
He's one of the druids.
Oh my! Could you imagine if the Druids were the Steiner brothers?
That would be absolutely fabulous.
Like, again, that's such a shitty outcome. I kind of want to see that happen.
Me too.
Oh my god.
We need to move on. And who do you put Braun Breaker? Like, let's say, okay, we go to In Your House. He loses to Joe Gacy. What is going to elevate Braun Breaker or whoever the next champion is? Like, who would you have in feud against after this?
Tony D'Angelo. Tony wins the title. Braun goes to the main roster. And Stacks and 2 Dimes. Agreed. Tony puts a hit on Stacks and 2 Dimes.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Because there'll be undercover FBI agents trying to. We talked. There'll be Donnie Brasco situation. Yeah. It'll all make sense. But tonight in the main event. Grimes. Let's talk about when Grimes visited.
Oh my god, the barber shop. Who led that kid in there?
I was kind of hoping he'd ask for a high top fade. I think that would be an improvement on his haircut.
No, we already been there with the haircut with Cameron Grimes. It didn't work out, that whole hair thing. I felt bad, and I want to know why he's in the barbershop when the next person for Braun Breaker should clearly be Solo Sikoa, and Solo Sikoa should win that title for him. Why are we still doing Carmelo Hayes and Cameron Grimes where it should be Solo? We didn't even see Solo tonight. Maybe Solo is that like the next person for Braun Breaker, and we're gonna keep him away from this North American Championship. I don't know, but I personally thought that Cameron Grimes was gonna do the match with Solo after they teamed up. Remember, it feels like we kind of like it felt like tonight we just reset a bunch of stories that you were just telling last week.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we had the main event. So Grimes is going to face Nathan Frazier next week, but Braun Breaker took on Duke Hudson in the main event tonight. It was what it was, but the Druids, Gacy's Druids. Okay, here's the thing. Joe Gacy's supposed to be this parody of a social justice warrior, basically like what Road Dogg or the Fox News crowd thinks like progressive is, right? Like that's the idea. What in the fuck do Druids have to do with this?
It's a vital part of the. Cause I don't know. There's a super chat.
I was involved in my local Democratic Party before I moved, and I could say there were no Druids at the meetings. You know?
Oh, yeah. I never.
No, granted, it was only the county level.
By Druids.
It was only the county level that I was involved in the local Democratic Party. County level, maybe at the state level.
I don't know what the Druids have to do with anything. Like, I don't understand. Is he still a social, justice warrior, or is he like a spooky character? Like, I feel like his character just completely I
don't get it.
Took a turn, and I don't understand what he's supposed to be, and playing these mind games and family games and daddy issues. Like, this whole thing is weird.
Yeah. Well, the Druids rushed the ring. Duke Hudson won via disqualification, and Braun Breaker disqualified, looked up at the platform, looking at Joe Gacy, laughing maniacally as the show went off the air.
Yeah, it was great. No, it wasn't. It wasn't great. I don't care. I don't care.
It was such a shitty ending. Like after,
but you know what? You forgot two things.
Oh, what else?
You forgot that Vinci guy video package that was in like Italian, and he's like
Vinci, Giovanni.
Oh yeah.
Vinci. Why not Gio Vinci? Why not just Gio Vinci? It makes so much more
sense. His finisher has to be called the Da Vinci Code.
Somebody said it's Fabian Eichner getting repackaged.
Who?
The other dude from Imperium that didn't get called up.
Oh.
Because, Von Kaiser is... Or Ludwig Kaiser is Marcel Barthel.
Yeah. There's also the video package about this girl. She's graduating high school, and
she's
choosing which college she's going to go to next week on NXT.
It's going to be Chase U. It's going to be Chase U. Yes.
If it's not Chase U, I quit watching this show, honestly. Like, it's right there. It's right there.
Is this kayfabe she's graduating high school? Because I thought they weren't signing super young people anymore. Is this legit the youngest person NXT's ever signed?
I think she's like legit the youngest person.
Or is she like 19 and a fifth-year senior?
I don't know. Maybe she's 19 and still in high school. I don't know.
Okay. Yes, Thea Phil. It's easy to forget these things because it flies. That ending tonight with Joe Gacy. Look, when you end the show with Joe Gacy, here, let me give you a recreation of the Rubenstien household on the couch. Ending with Joe Gacy maniacally, trademark NXT goes. Here's a recreation of what happens every time. Oh fuck! I got to do the podcast. I got to talk. Every time.
My recreation is like, wait, that's it? Like, I don't know. This just wasn't it. This whole feud has not been it, and it's just not doing anything for Braun Breaker as NXT champion.
Steve Marcuccioli tonight, $4.99. The one female talent in NXT that you see having main event success on the main roster. Also asking us to watch The Flight Attendant. I've heard that's good. I'm going to add that to my watch later list. I've got so much stuff to watch right now. I've got so much of them. Still not finished with the new season of Kids.
You know what I love about our chat? That they're just like us. Like, they keep their chats wrestling and movie related. Like, they're with us. You know what I mean? We feel like we're all over the place, but they're all over the place with us. And I appreciate that. And I'm going to say Nikita Lyons.
Yeah, Nikita Lyons. 1,000%. Nikita Lyons, I know she's still relatively young, but I think she can legitimately be up there with Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair. Not right away. They have to build her properly.
And not look the same. She's going to come in with, it's going to be like a whole different character. It's not going to be like the same old, that we see.
And she is going to get such mainstream attention I think just everybody, men, women, young, old, like everybody pays attention to her, notices her. Never do that promo again where you're going to let her freestyle rap. No offense, Nikita. Look, Faith Jeffries, I like your music, but that promo wasn't it. Okay, your song.
I feel like that promo like traumatized you. You haven't let it go.
Because it's kind of like we all have this. We all have an actor that we really love, but they all made that like one terrible movie where it was just like, no, we're not talking about that. And we all have it too with musicians. I mean, every band that we love, Bad Bunny has to have a song where you're just like, oh,
no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
There's not a single Bad Bunny song.
No. His new album is actually unskippable.
Okay,
like you cannot skip a song. No, I'm talking about all of his songs.
Yeah, but on his first album, there's nothing.
He doesn't. Glenn, to keep up with your negativity, he's only in his 20s. It could still happen. Okay. I will freaking show up at you. I won't fly to Vegas for Double or Nothing, but I will just to have a conversation with you about Bad Bunny.
Everybody. If it's your favorite artist on your favorite album, there's still a track that there's still like one track everybody skips.
No.
Really?
Yes. But not with Bad Bunny.
Like NWA Straight Outta Compton. Straight Outta Compton, classic album. Start to finish. Quiet on the Set, kind of a throwaway song. I could skip Quiet on the Set. Or no, something to dance to. Quiet on the Set's better. Something to dance to. I could just stop. I could stop listening to the album before those last two songs.
I prefer something to dance to more.
Interesting. Quiet on the Set. I like when they go the Quiet on the Set part. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
You know? Arabian Prince, the forgotten member of NWA. And was the DOC ever officially in the group? DOC solo album. It's funky enough. Like one of the best hip hop singles of all time.
I'm sorry, but forgotten MMA.
Yes, talking about Jennifer Aniston, Leprechaun. I watched the first Leprechaun a while ago.
Leprechaun is such a horror movie classic. Come on. I was sarcastic.
Now, I've tried to get my wife to watch more of them. Like Leprechaun in Space, Leprechaun in the Hood. Doesn't he go to Las Vegas in one of them?
Yeah.
Same way, my wife's not a big Friday the 13th fan, but I've been really pushing for years, like, let's watch Jason X. It's Jason in Space. You'll like this.
Jason X is the worst.
Jason X is... Okay, we're going to have words here. Jason X is in the top 3 Friday the 13th movies. The final chapter is the best one by far. What do you think the best Friday the 13th is? Best Friday the 13th movie.
The final chapter, yes.
Okay, final chapter, we agree. Second best...
I personally, just because of the clash of I will put Freddy versus...
I like Freddy versus Jason a lot. I like the fake Jay Muse from Jay and Silent Bob fame. The guy that's not Jay Muse that's in that. He's very good. Jason Ritter, Melanie Linsky's husband.
You know what? The problem that I have with Jason X is that I like the movie itself. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? But I guess that's what horror movies do. I know, but when it comes to like slashers, like Jason is like down there for me because he's like the dumbest. Like he even let freaking Freddy Krueger manipulate him. You know what I mean? Like he's not.
Well, he's in the future, and they find his body frozen or something.
I know.
And then he goes on the spaceship, and there's the liquid nitrogen kill, which is one of the most inventive in the series. There's the VR sequence, the virtual reality sequence, which is next level. And he's he becomes Cyborg Jason at the end.
What about Jason Goes to Manhattan that only has like 2 scenes in actual New York?
Yeah, Jason Goes to Toronto. Where they shot that. Jason Goes to Manhattan.
You know that there was like an old rapper here in Puerto Rico. His name is Vico C, and he writes a song called Friday the 13th, and it's about Jason coming to Puerto Rico, and it's one of my favorite like raps ever. I wish they would have turned that. I wish they would have made that into a movie. Jason Takes San Juan. Like that would have been awesome.
Jason should go to Las Vegas. I think that would be a hell of a film. You know?
I don't know. He might get into some trouble. Not the killing kind.
Oh, that's true. The Friday the 13th movies. Here's the thing: the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise puts Friday the 13th to shame because,
of course,
every Nightmare on Elm Street movie Freddy's Dead kind of is the weakest. But look, even Nightmare on Elm Street 2, if you go back and rewatch it, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is actually aged phenomenally well.
Yeah.
And it's got a much different context now. There were essays about it.
Right.
And the context for having the male protagonist and sort of the like different representation that it was presenting. Like Freddy's Revenge, yeah, is good, except for the Freddy coming out into real life. That still makes no sense. But
No
I would
sense at all.
defend Nightmare on Elm Street 3, though, the Dream Warriors, hands down the best Nightmare on Elm Street film.
I actually agree with you on that.
Did
I
you
just think Freddy as like one of the slashers is such a mind fuck, right? Because of the fact that he can kill you in your sleep, like, you know. And I look at my slashers like that, and that's why I feel like Jason. And you know, I'm a big horror movie buff, and Jason is like down in my list of my favorite slashers. So
the canceled sequel they were going to do to the reboot was going to take place in the winter, and I thought that would have been really cool to have something kind of different. But did you see New Mutants, the last Fox Marvel film that came out?
I haven't yet. No.
Okay, so New Mutants is like a direct homage, like so influenced by Dream Warriors. They just happen to be like junior X-Men, like in this asylum, not able to control their powers. It's very heavy Dream Wars vibe. And Anya, what's her face? The actress is phenomenal as Colossus's younger sister in that Magic, who can like go to a netherworld with demons and stuff. It's very good.
Sounds super interesting. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, New Mutants was highly worth watching, but it just got dumped because it was the last Fox Marvel movie before.
Did you watch the new Scream?
I did watch the new Scream. Went to the drive-in for that because I didn't want to be spoiled.
Oh yeah, you told me that. What'd you think?
I thought actually 4 was better than 5. I thought 4 had a more interesting idea.
Okay.
You know,
what about? Did you watch Halloween Kills?
No, I was never a Halloween guy. Actually, so I've talked about this before, but okay. So my wife and I have this running thing where sometimes I mention movies where I really don't want to watch them. And I just say like, oh, let's watch Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. And she'll be like, ha, ha, ha. That's a funny idea. I've heard it's terrible.
Come on.
But
that's
one night, but on Halloween this year, I said, let's watch Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. She was like, okay. Yeah. And then like we had trouble getting the video file. The place she was like, no, I want to watch Season of the Witch. So we watched it. And I remembered as a kid that everybody hated that and it was terrible. That movie is boring as shit.
It's not bad. I just feel like I wish they would have made that movie when they made it and not related to the Halloween like franchise and made it on its own.
Interesting idea that they were going to put masks on kids that like disintegrated, like the people wearing the mask. Like,
but that's the whole point. I feel like if that movie would have came out as a horror movie on its own, not related to the Halloween franchise, maybe it would have had a different reception.
Yes. Tornado's asking favorite classic horror movie franchise. I mean, for me, Nightmare on Elm Street. What about you?
My favorite one is on my top 5, but it's not a franchise. It's just The Exorcist stands alone. I know they made a couple of sequels for it.
Did you ever see part 3? Wait, did you ever see The Exorcist 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
That's very well regarded.
It's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I just feel like a lot of it has to do because I grew up in a Catholic family, so my mom would like completely forbid me from watching it.
Oh, Issa froze for me.
Forbidden movie, so I needed to get my hands on a horror movie edition. It was just my mom would not let me watch The Exorcist, and I was like, I'm gonna get my hands on this movie.
Speaking of exorcisms, Patrick Fabian, who's on Better Call Saul, you've watched The Last Exorcism, correct? The mockumentary?
Yeah.
So Patrick Fabian plays a priest in that. We didn't watch that until a few years ago. I loved that movie. I thought that's one of the most inventive original horror films that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is. Agreed.
It was so good. So someone's saying preview SmackDown. SmackDown's on Friday. You're gonna watch it. I can tell you, SmackDown's on Friday. Roman Reigns comes to the ring, and Paul Heyman blows his nose and just says, "Tribal Chief." Roman says, "Acknowledge me," and that's SmackDown this Friday. And y'all are gonna tune in anyhow because
you forgot about Butch.
Yes, and Butch.
Listen, we survived, right? We came in here. Our mood was very through the ground. We made it. We did it.
It's true. We got to the top of the mountain, but now we have to go back down to the mountain to the other side of the night. I think I might just pull up one of my streaming services and maybe stay away from social media and the news. And it's a lot. It's too heavy. Yeah, I know. I know it definitely is. But hey, thanks everyone for hanging with us tonight. I know we're a little more all over the place than usual, but tomorrow, AEW coverage, the build up to Double or Nothing. Everything's in Vegas this week. So tomorrow is Dynamite coverage. Friday, we're going to be back here with Rampage. When's it going to be on? Who knows? Life is a mystery, as Madonna once said. So we'll talk about Rampage. We'll talk about SmackDown. And then this weekend, Double or Nothing. It's going to be good. New Day is going to have a surprise partner. So there you go. Thank you everyone for coming out. She's at NYC Demon Diva with a 1. I'm Glenn Rubenstien, and we'll get you back here next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.